Neck pain during or after a long bike ride is quite common and quite understandable. Humans evolved to walk and run, not to ride a bicycle. And there are many reasons why riding a bike can cause pain and discomfort, particularly in the neck region. So first of all, let's think about vibration. Unless you're riding on the smoothest of tarmac, there is always going to be some vibration feedback coming from the road surface or from the trail that you're riding on. We know that vibration is a risk factor for musculoskeletal injury in the workplace, and being on a bike is no different. Exposure to vibration can cause increase in muscular activity and also will lead to constriction of the peripheral blood vessels. Number two, being on a bike in a forward-leaning position requires substantially greater muscle activity to maintain. In standing or in upright sitting, the head is relatively well balanced on top of the spine. However, on the bike, in a leaning forward position, you can see the centre of gravity on the head is going to move well forward of the base of support of the spine, resulting in much greater muscular force required to hold the head in place. So the more aerodynamic a position we try to adopt, the more muscular effort is required to keep the head in the right position. A time trial or triathlon position is the ultimate strain on the neck because the spine's at almost horizontal and the neck needs to do a 90-degree bend to keep the vision forwards. Number three, the extended position of the neck doesn't just increase the loading on the muscles, but also causes significantly increased compression of the joints on either side of the spine. In a typical forward-leaning position on a bike, the neck will be arched, and you can see how these little joints here at the top of the neck are compressed to achieve that position. You might also be able to see how these little nerve roots here look like little yellow strands of spaghetti. The windows that those nerve roots emerge from shrink down when the neck is in that extended position, potentially causing some nerve root compression. The analogy for this in a normal activities of daily living would be standing or sitting with your neck extended for hours and hours at a time. That's not going to be comfortable, but that's what we do on a bike. Number four is the duration of time we spend on a bike. Regardless of whether you're in a good position or not such a good position, the fact is that you're in a sustained posture for many, many hours on end, with very little variation available. So what can we do to help the neck problem? Well, in a nutshell, we need to do less of the things that cause strain to the neck, and we need to do more of the things that protect the neck or build up the resilience of that area. Before we go on, if you're finding the information in this video useful, please click the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and please also feel free to leave a comment at the end of the video. So what can we do to help neck pain from cycling? First of all, have regular changes in posture while you're riding. Simply moving from the tops of the handlebars to the hoods and even to the drops can make subtle differences in the orientation of the spine, can change the loading of the muscles, and can also alter the compression of the spinal joints. Even though all of these positions are still stressful to the neck, a change is as good as a holiday. Number two, run lower tyre pressure. Wider tyres on wider rims can run lower tyre pressure, which will help to dampen any road vibration and help to smooth out some of the smaller bumps. Number three, consider using double bar tape or silicone strips under your bar tape or padded gloves with extra protection in the weight-bearing surface. Extra padding either on your handlebars or on the support surface of the gloves will again help to reduce transmitted vibration up the chain to your neck and also reduce the amount of work the neck muscles have to do. Number four is to raise your handlebars. If you lift your handlebars higher, you're going to very, very slightly bring your spine closer to the vertical position, which is going to reduce the effort required by the spinal muscles and will also slightly reduce the compressive forces on the spinal joints. Bear in mind that being more upright does have ramifications on your overall aerodynamics, and that might need to be considered in the overall context of a broader bike fit plan. Number 5, when you're riding, try and keep your middle back flatter to reduce the amount of extension required in your neck. So to show with a bit of exaggeration here, if your middle back is very curved, then your neck will have to arch further to compensate. Riding with a straighter spine through the middle back will require less compensatory extension through the neck area. Again, this may not be quite as easy as it sounds, because that may require some extra flexibility in your hip, may also increase the pressure at the front of the saddle, and may also increase the workload of your muscles in the lower back area. Number 6 is to relax your upper trapezius muscles and keep your shoulders in a better position. When you ride past a shop window, do you see yourself hunching your shoulders? This is a very typical riding position, very common, because the upper trapezius muscles are generally stronger than the lower trapezius muscles. So where possible, try and engage your lower trapezius muscles, keep your shoulder blades lower, and that will help your upper trapezius muscles to stay more relaxed. Number 7 is bend your elbows while you're riding. Some cyclists lock their elbows straight when they're on the bike because there's less muscle effort required to maintain that position. However, having locked elbows removes one key area of shock absorption from the upper limb and will transmit more of the bumps and vibrations to the neck area. Number 8 is to try some shoulder rolls. Whenever it's safe to do so on the bike, particularly when you're stopped, try some of these simple little shoulder movements. They will help to increase circulation, they'll help to remove waste products, and they'll help to break up the pattern of static muscle contractions. And finally, number 9, let's have a look at some exercises to improve the mobility, the strength, and the endurance of the spine to help deal with the stresses that cycling places on the neck. There are plenty of exercises you can do off the bike to help look after neck pain from cycling. First of all, improve the mobility of your thoracic spine. Exercises such as a backward drape over an exercise ball, or a prayer pose onto a chair, or even a simple rolled up towel stretch. Number 2, strengthen your spinal extensor muscles. You can try basic chest lifts from the ground, chest lifts over an exercise ball. We can do bridging exercises, and in all fours, we can do diagonal extension exercises. Number 3 is chin tucks. Physios give this exercise to clients all the time, and it can be used either as an exercise or as a general postural cue and postural reminder. Number 4, we can do more specific deep neck flexor strengthening exercises. And finally, if you are a cyclist spending a lot of time in the saddle, it's probably a good idea to try and find ways to get out of your chair on a day-to-day basis at work or at home. See if you can employ either a sit-stand desk to get yourself upright more often, or at the very least, when you are sitting at work, see if you can get yourself in a taller, more ergonomic position. For more information about how to improve your comfort and performance on your bike, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos.